Remember those bits from Are You Sure that the staff always put in? It seemed like they were intentionally included to make Jimin and Jungkook's relationship feel more special. Of all the bits that could have been omitted, they kept the moment when Jungkook handed him his card. It was as if the staff knew that that detail was too precious to cut, because it had their fingerprints meeting on the payment card. A small yet meaningful detail, it seemed to be a seal of approval that their relationship was real and undeniable. Jikook's charm has always been one of the most beautiful things. In this chapter we see Jimin and Jungkook interacting in such a natural way. There's a sweet tension as they pretend to be strangers. Jungkook stares at Jimin in a way that makes anyone gasp, and then Jimin asks innocently, "Are you going to buy me another drink?" Simple but beautiful. Jungkook always knows how to liven up a situation, how every interaction between them can make us smile for hours. Feels like their every move and word is a secret code that only the two of them understand. One of my favorite moments was when the staff attempted to recreate the anime-esque atmosphere while they were traveling on the train. Jungkook, with a calm expression, leaned toward Jimin, creating a scene that looked like it was straight out of a movie. It wasn't just two people enjoying the ride, but there was a love and warmth that permeated every second. The episode was so memorable because the authenticity of their chemistry was palpable. The small details, the smiles, and the sincere gestures created unforgettable memories. For fans, every moment with Jikook is a treasure. Watching them share laughter, jokes, and even small intimacies makes the world seem to stop spinning. They complement, understand, and respect each other. These memories become energy we treasure, as we wait for new surprises that will further strengthen their bond. Jungkook always shows extra attention to Jimin. Even small details like his intense glare at anyone who gets too close to Jimin never escapes the attention of fans. Over time, the jealousy may have become more subtle, but it's still very real. Jungkook knows that Jimin is the light that attracts many, but deep down he believes Jimin is his soulmate. We've seen those jealous moments clearly in interviews. At first, Jungkook is calm and smiling, but the moment Jimin looks at someone else and smiles, his expression changes instantly. The smile fades, and his eyes fixate on Jimin with an intensity that can't be hidden. That's Jimin's natural charm. Unconsciously flirtatious, full of charm, and Jungkook can't help but feel jealous. In fact, moments like that make us even more convinced of how deeply Jungkook feels for Jimin. There's also a cute moment when Jungkook misunderstands, leading Jimin to demand an apology. Jungkook is initially reluctant, but ultimately they can't hold back their anger for long. It's as if there's an invisible thread binding them together. A connection so strong that even small differences can't tear them apart. Even when they fight, they do it in a loving way. Another detail that always makes fans cringe is how Jimin often wakes Jungkook up in the morning. Small things like that become favorite memories because they showcase their simple yet warm daily life. Small gestures, gazes, and even their tiny feet side by side like two perfectly fitting puzzle pieces, all demonstrate their natural chemistry. The most special moment was when the camera captured their embrace. Their intertwined bodies, soft gazes, and palpable warmth took our breath away. It wasn't just physical closeness, but a profound emotional connection. We were given a glimpse into their private world, a world of tenderness that made fans fall in love even more. Beyond all that, their individual accomplishments were also remarkable. Jungkook's explicit version of 7 just received RAJ certification in Japan for reaching 100 million streams, while his album broke the record for the first Asian artist to receive 2 silver single certifications in the UK. Jimin was equally proud, with his song lasting a long time on Spotify's global charts, reaching high positions in America, Japan, Spain, and of course Korea. Their success is a testament to the hard work, talent, and love they pour into their music. But for Jimin's fans, beyond all these achievements, the most precious moments remain their small moments. The laughter, the glances, and the genuine interactions that make the world seem to stop spinning. Every time we think back to Jimin and Jungkook's journey, one thing always sticks out: the authenticity of their relationship. Nothing feels forced. Whether it's a fleeting glance, a small smile, or a seemingly casual touch, there's always a genuine nuance that can't be hidden. That's why many fans believe that even the staff sometimes intentionally leave certain moments on screen, as if they know how precious those details are to fans. Just look at the moment they share their fingerprints on a payment card. At first glance, it seems trivial, but it's actually a moment full of meaning. How can something so simple feel like a love seal that needs no words? Fans immediately realize that behind it is a symbol of intimacy that can't be faked. It's not just the big moments that captivate, it's the small details that often leave us stunned. For example, when Jungkook secretly watches Jimin while he's talking to someone else. There's a protective look in his eyes, a kind of, "I'm watching you," that doesn't need to be said. These moments are so brief, but they give us a clear picture of how precious Jimin is to him. Jungkook's small jealousies are also part of their beautiful story. Fans often catch Jungkook's sudden serious expression when Jimin gets too intimate with someone else. It's not overt jealousy, but rather a display of his human side, that he doesn't want to lose the attention of the person he loves most. There's something so innocent in that look, like a child who doesn't want someone else to take his toy. And Jimin, with his flirtatious nature, often unknowingly triggers that side in Jungkook. But what makes their relationship so strong is the way they always find their way back together. If there's a misunderstanding, if a joke goes too far, it always ends in laughter. They can never stay angry for long. It's as if there's an invisible bond that binds them together, despite the distance or busy schedules that separate them. That common thread always leads them to the same point, finding each other. There are many moments that showcase their daily lives. One example is when Jimin wakes Jungkook up in the morning. That small gesture might seem ordinary to others, but to fans, it's an incredibly intimate portrait. Imagine how close they are, that even a simple routine like waking him up becomes something so precious. Jimin's tiny feet moving slowly, his soft voice tempting Jungkook to wake up, and Jungkook's lazy responses that always make him laugh. All of it conveys the warmth of a home that only the two of them understand. Moments like these often make us think that Jimin and Jungkook are like two pieces of a puzzle. They're different, but it's precisely those differences that make them complement each other. Jimin with his caring, warm, and playful nature. Jungkook with his strong charisma, protective nature, yet also spoiled at times. When the two are together, they create a balance that's hard to match. Perhaps that's why every interaction between Jimin and Jungkook feels so alive. Even when they're just sitting side by side without a word, there's a silent communication going on. It's like there's a secret language only the two of them understand. A small smile, a glance, or a simple gesture can send a message deeper than 1,000 words. Fans who notice these details are often captivated, knowing that what they share isn't fake. One of the most heartwarming moments was when they embraced in front of the camera. Nothing over the top, just a simple embrace, bodies intertwined, and a warmth that felt real. But it was precisely that simplicity that made it so memorable. We could sense that it wasn't just a gesture for the camera, but rather a reflection of the comfort and security they found in each other. And beneath all these private moments, they still displayed extraordinary professionalism as artists. Jungkook with his global record-breaking 7, and Jimin with his song that remained on the international charts for so long. Both had achieved milestones no other K-pop artist had achieved before. But what was most touching was how they remained supportive of each other throughout their achievements. Jungkook often referred to Jimin as his source of strength, while Jimin never forgot to support Jungkook every step of the way. Perhaps that's the beauty of Jikook. Their relationship doesn't just exist behind the scenes, but is also reflected in their work. Their songs, performances, and even on-stage interactions often contain subtle traces of their connection. Fans can feel it even without words. Every memory they share is like walking down a flower-filled path. Sometimes filled with laughter, sometimes with intimacy, sometimes with little surprises that make our hearts flutter. But no matter what form it takes, there's always a lingering sweetness. That feeling keeps fans looking forward to new moments, new surprises, and of course, the new love they'll show, whether intentionally or not. Because in the end, Jimin and Jungkook aren't just two idols we admire. They are two souls who grew together, complementing each other, and creating a beautiful story for us to witness. A story that makes us believe that true love doesn't always need to be expressed in words. Just a look, a smile, and a togetherness that can never be faked.